programmer?
I am optimistic.
I'm a young black woman seeking information and opportunities.
I am technology.
I am determined.
I guess I could say I'm pretty focused.
I'm proficient at what I do.
I'm excited about my life.
So it's incredible. Mobile apps are huge in today's software development world. It's probably the biggest trend in computing these days is mobility. And to see these kids be able to walk in and develop apps after not even having a college degree in computer science like most developers have, with pretty much minimal guidance is incredible.
Temple's College of Engineering is the designated hub for the Pennsylvania MESA, which is the 9th state to come on board the MESA USA National Coalition to provide opportunities in STEM, engineering in particular, to middle and high school students across Pennsylvania.
My job is to research the curriculum, to recruit the instructors, and to make sure that like a program manager, that the project is on par.
It was boring the first day, but Dean gave me my first programming book. It was Java for Dummies, and that was the first book I ever read on programming. So, I read that book cover to cover, and I got started programming.
After the first day, I guess I was liked and I learned a lot and I enjoyed it too. So I dedicated to give up all of my Saturdays to come from 9 to 12 or 9 to 1 and learn about computer programming and gaming.
The first app I built was a web browser, so it allowed you to get on the internet and search for things. And the reason I really chose that was because I know there was a lot you can do with it, and it kind of covered a lot of different areas as it relates to Android.
I started to connect with it because I knew that for mechanical engineers, which I'm aspiring to become, I knew that you need a level of coding in order to further yourself in your studies in college and in the future, et cetera, et cetera. So I figured that if I'm really dedicated to being a mechanical engineer, I should get the knowledge that I need right here.
The fact that there's not many women involved in this field is really an asset for me to keep going on, especially I have a double minority. I'm black as well as a woman, so it's like two odds working against me, and for me to be part of this field, it proves something to not just women, but society in total.
A STEM competent high school, college student, professional, community college, doesn't matter, one who's acquired the skills, will participate in the 21st century economy.
Number one, it's a very lucrative business. And number two, it's a great place to be able to express your creativity.
Right now, we need more mentors. I think the number one issue in creating opportunities for students to learn is to line them up with people who've actually been in those spaces.
So they're going out there, they're finding out all these new technologies, they're finding out all these new techniques, and they're doing all these, they're at the apex of what is the cutting edge of development right now. To be honest with you, they come at me with new ideas, and they've helped my career out. So it's turned it from me being their mentor to almost like a peer mentorship.
Being an engineer in MESA has been incredible. It's just amazing to see the experiences that the students are getting and being able to replicate some of the experiences that I've gone through my development as an engineer. Especially because it's not very common that students get exposed to this kind of education this early in their career.
We need other colleges of engineering to come online and say, hey, we too can have an engineering education model for middle and high school children from disadvantaged areas.
I've been the only girl there, so it's a little pressure, you had to really bring it.
These people that would normally learn these are the things that I'm learning right now in college. I'm learning them right now, so I'm ahead of the game. I'm creating apps now. They were created when they're in college.
MESA definitely did help me focus what I actually wanted to be and where I wanted to go. in life and made me look towards the future.
That's really what we need people to understand about how important it has been to have a Temple College of Engineering in North Philadelphia, which has the highest level of underperforming, underrepresented minority children, that they too can overachieve in STEM if given access to these universities.
Starting from like where they were at day one to where they are now, tonight some of these students are speaking in front of the Android Alliance of Philadelphia, which is a community of professional developers.
It really took me a while to find my passion, and these students really got a chance to discover passion early on.
What's really special about our approach is that we are focused on motivating students to persist. And we do that through a series of carefully structured opportunities to learn, which includes field trips that support lessons that they've had in skills development. We do that through access to subject matter experts who can train them at a deeper level. And we also provide access to other university environments so that they can expand their horizons beyond just North Philadelphia.
My proudest moments, I would say, just to see the light on the eyes of the students in the classroom.
My son has been exposed to mobile app development. It has broadened his horizon through traveling. The MESA program also has broadened my son's horizons in public speaking. My son Frank was kind of shy going into the program, but after being in the program and having to present programs and presentations, it opened. I could see he wasn't as shy as he used to be, and also he has more of an interest now than ever before in continuing his education in technology at a university or college such as Temple.
I like doing this because it's fun and interesting, but it also makes money. I mean, that's just like another benefit.
STEM is more than a fun activity for young people. This is now a national security risk issue where the quality of life of our nation is strategically dependent on whether or not we can produce the young people who can sustain the economy of the United States. And right now, we're not doing a good job of that.
The earlier I make this person proficient with this identity, the more he's going to be an asset to society.
Oh, like computer science jobs are jobs of the future. Like people are not going to be working in factories in the future. We're going to be programming robots to make stuff in factories.
You're going to spend $7,000 or $8,000 or $9,000 on a student in public school, and we're going to spend all the money on programs for prisoners and ex-prisoners and this, that, and the other, reconsideration. We got to be crazy not to be able to figure out how to invest in these programs. And not just invest in these programs, look at the ROI. For every student that becomes proficient in some way, whether they just become literary proficient or proficient in coding, and that teenager, you're pretty sure that they're going to finish college as well as get on the rolls, maybe on the rolls, after 2 years of school. Look at the ROI as far as what that does to the tax base.
There are three things that make a program like MESA extraordinarily successful. The first is that it focuses on academic rigor. And there's 40 years of success with evidence that academic rigor and high expectation, particularly for young people of color, can yield amazing results. And so that's the first thing. The second thing is that we focus on identity formation. Again, the need for more mentors and more subject matter experts to help the young mind immerse itself, that it can claim the space. It belongs here. So young people need to feel like they belong in the space. And the third thing that's extremely important with an approach like this is that there's a continuum of learning from elementary, feeds into middle school, feeds into high school, feeds into 2-year college and 4-year college. So I think those three things, the rigor, the identity formation, and the pathways, the continuum of access through the MESA model is what makes its success so extraordinary.
They are actually being introduced to a dream state at a very early age, which means that they're already beyond the thing of survival. So the more you dream, the livelier you are.
It's cool because of the ties that we have to the community. MESA is really deeply ingrained with a lot of the interesting companies in the area, a lot of the entrepreneurs, and a lot of just inspiring people in the area.
So some of our strategic partners to help with this amazing story have been the United States Navy.
The Department of the Navy is a very large employer of STEM professionals. both on the active duty and civilian side. So the Navy is competing with the commercial sector for STEM graduates. My greatest experience while teaching here is that in the back of my mind I knew that what we're providing is a quality program, and at the same time we were able to give the students involved kind of a path to a possible career within the Department of the Navy.
The Gear Up program through the School District of Philadelphia, which has allowed us to prove that STEM education could come to any child in any learning environment. Villa Retail Giant, which has been amazing in terms of allowing us to take students to Silicon Valley to understand technology and entrepreneurship. And another fantastic partner has been the Verizon Foundation, which has provided funds for us to teach teachers how to do what we do when we reverse this back out into the after-school clubs. One, we demonstrated that children of color could overachieve and excel in STEM. The second thing is that there is a connection between culture and cognition. Those things have not been demonstrated before the Pennsylvania MESA came online. Third, that we serve as the experts in the field for teaching young people computer science, mobile apps, and technology for the rest of the nation.
We participated in a hackathon that was sponsored by AT&T, and we were going against professional software developers. These are people that rely on their programming skills to feed their families and themselves. And we got first place.
Really, the ecosystem is that's where you find like a lot of high-end like developers who are really involved in what they're doing, and it's kind of like a whole different world when you really get into it. You're like, because everybody knows who that guy is in the technology world because he created some language.
We took a group of higher performing students to Silicon Valley to meet with Google, to meet with technology startups. If you don't understand Silicon Valley and what that means in terms of innovation, it is the #1 place for innovation in the world.
I like Google because the environment they had in which everyone was friends and everyone you weren't on lockdown in it. You still had to get your work done or do whatever project you had to focus on, but you still were granted freedom.
Google was basically to see how you could go from something so small and become something so big, and it didn't take them 30 to 40 years to do it. It sort of inspired us all. Like, I guess you could see it in our faces when we all lit up and we saw Google's logo and all the Android symbols everywhere, and all the people that were just happy there. It kind of inspired us, like, hey, I want to make this one day and be able to give back.
I really liked going down to Silicon Valley, seeing not only startups but well-established companies.
Just being able to experience some of these development opportunities early on and get to see what they like, what they don't like, it's really incredible.
So for our students to go there to experience what the best of the best go through and to really hang with them, to have just wonderful conversations, to fit in very nicely. That helped Google's folks understand that these young people are their future, and helped our young people understand that Google could be their future or they can create the next Google. We met with Stanford University. To have Stanford deliver a course on computer science to these young people who they would never have otherwise had access to, that was a big deal.
What was actually really cool to talk to was security at the White House. Actually learning what their security is, what it's built out of, things that I wouldn't think to know from my personal experience.
Having young ladies participate in the White House Equal Futures Challenge for girls, to get more young girls to understand the connection between technology and understanding what female politicians are doing and how to become civic leaders.
We went to Washington, D.C. To learn a brief on cybersecurity, how cybersecurity affects society, or why right now it's such an important field to stress on, and how different countries can hack into our systems, United States.
I liked it. It was very insightful, and we went to George Washington University and we met with NCIS agents talking about naval security, and that was fun for me.
When Admiral Clunder was showing us all the cool things that they were doing down at NASA, doing things that they were doing at the Navy bases, making lasers that would blow stuff up out of the sky that could be threats. That was really cool to see.
we have had these extraordinary experiences that keep embedding in the minds of these American children that they too have a place in this economy, and this is where they could go, and the sky's the limit.
So if it was just the technology itself, then they could get it anyway. They could read a book if it was just the technology. So there is a community, an energy, an extended family thing going on that's kind of unique in this scenario.
What I'm doing right now could make a greater influence on other people around the world and in the nation.
Really broadened my perspective when I came here of all the things that you can be a coder and do this and do this and this. And I feel that other cities need this. Chicago, LA, New York, they need this because there's kids just like us that before are walking around with the same stigma of like, I'm just another black kid. You know, no, you can do this too.
I think MESA is important in other cities because it opens the passageway for kids like us, well, like she said, that are under the same stereotypes and want to feel the need to break through them. It gives them the opportunity to do that.
Technology is something that always will be around. It's something that will always evolve.
They haven't gone through any scenario where it's like, I haven't done anything or I haven't achieved and nobody's told them they can't do something. So when you put them in a positive situation with all the resources that they need to be successful, and then also put with them mentors that are engaging them and also invested in them being successful, the only outcome is success.
I am the American dream.
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 I am the American dream.